All right. This meeting is being live streamed. Here we go. Got it. Thanks for bearing with me through all of that. And now I'm also going to pop open my notes. So to be completely transparent, I just got out of the back studio where I went to meditate for about 15 minutes or so, because I just had like so much going on in my head and my body and my brain, and like, so, you know, a little bit emotional stuff, some just the chaos and the stress and the anxiety of like trying to get everything right and doing everything and keeping up with everything, which feels absolutely impossible to me right now. Can any of you relate to that? I know this isn't unusual for me. I'd love to hear about your experience with that and what you do to help yourself out when you're feeling overwhelmed and like you just couldn't possibly get caught up and everything is urgent, right? Of course, everything's urgent. It has to be done right now. So right now I'm just typing my notes here, the date, the episode, this is episode 9, and we are on May 3rd of 2022. And, you know, unless you've been living with your head in the sand, we know that there are some pretty awful things going on in the world. And this isn't the place where I talk about the things per se, but it is the place where I like to share things that might be helpful in terms of shifting perspective on how we see them, or how we, not even how we see them, but how we respond to them, how we allow them to impact us in our body and our experience in our daily lives. So you'll find here that usually I'm talking about the 3 pillars of coaching that I use is mindset, pleasure, and often working with emotional integration. So yeah, those I work with all the time, and they're very helpful. I hope you find them helpful as well. My clients tend to respond very positively to them, and it's just such a pleasure to sort of see the stress and the anxiety or the pain or the angst, whatever it was that they're holding, to just kind of slip away through this process, the different processes and techniques that I might use to help them integrate the stresses and, I guess, neutralize them. I can't really think of a better word at the moment. So I also want to, you know, if you've been hanging out and coming to any of my shows or been coached by me, you already know that I like to start with pleasure first. And that helps all of us get grounded and centered, just like you would do in a yoga class or maybe for a massage or something like that. So letting what came before today, before we got here today, to slip away. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I did that in my studio in the back room there for about 15 minutes or so, just before getting online, because I didn't want to be arriving with all of the stress and anxiety that I had going on in me. And I need to take the time to take care of myself so that I could be better and of better service here, and also more present with being here. So I'll just guide you through a short pleasure first exercise. Often it's basically a guided meditation or some kind of activity. And when I'm coaching, I'm usually, you know, I just get inspired and I just go with what comes to me to do. So I'm going to tap into that right now. Move my chair over here. and kind of feel into what's going on, what my body wants. Okay. So I think I want a little bit of movement. So I might use this as an opportunity to do two things at once. Okay. So I will also be using what I use in a lot of our erotic blueprint things, which is getting familiar with the different ways of touching, feeling, sensing, experiencing through the framework of those blueprints, which I find pretty interesting and very, very useful. So to begin, just if you're sitting, that's fine. Just stay sitting. Or if you want to stand, stand. I'm standing. And okay, here goes. So feel your feet on the ground or your sit bones in the chair. Feel yourself supported exactly where you are. Allowing your body to still a little bit. And allowing your weight to go into either your sit bones where you're feeling supported there, or into your feet, into the floor, allowing the weight of your body to really fall into the gravity space. You don't have to hold your shoulders up or your head up or anything like that. Just be easy and aware of your body and what it's asking for. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and exhale it out slowly until you're completely empty. You can even push in on your belly if you wish. And then a long, slow inhale again. Hold and exhale it out through your mouth all the way. One more time. Now just breathe easy and normal. Noticing how your feet and or your bottom is still supported. And actually, I'm going to change it up a bit from the, before we get to the blueprint stuff, I'm going to, I need a little more movement. So start with just shaking your hands gently. Don't overdo it. Get some movement, some blood flowing, and then increase the lower, move the lower parts of your arms, shaking them up, and then allow your elbows to get involved and your shoulders. Again, don't overdo it so that you're hurting yourself. Just allow yourself to get enough of a stretch and movement so you feel the blood moving around, the muscles doing work, holding it all together, allowing you to let loose and jiggle your hands and your arms and stuff like that. And then you can allow your shoulders to do more of the work, raising them up and rolling them around and then the other direction. And your chest can rotate around, forward, side, back, side, other direction, forward, side, back, and side. And allow yourself to keep moving and jiggling more of your body. Get your belly involved in your hips and your butt, and your thighs might start jiggling, and your knees. Getting a good shake all over. Especially good to do if you've had a lot of emotional stress going on. stress from the news, or stress from the bank, or stress from someone you know, someone you care about, or just any kind of anxiety. And letting our bodies shake it all out helps us integrate it all. You know, animals can usually just shake themselves off and move on, but we humans tend to have that anxiety and all those emotions stuck in our body, including whatever stories were attached to the drama or the thing that, you know, the bad news or whatever. And that stuff living in our body just makes us really uncomfortable and pretty unhappy, generally speaking. So just keep listening to your body. Allow yourself to like shake as much as you need to. No one's watching you. No one's going to make fun of you. So you can be as shaky as you want. You can even like loosen your jaw and, you know, make funny jaw mouth sound like, like it doesn't matter. It's about shaking and releasing all the stuff that's in our bodies. So allow yourself to do that. Go ahead for another 20, 30 seconds. You can even jump up and down if you want to. Allowing. Right? Okay, so now come back and settle in a little bit, not like settle in, but like still yourself. Allow your body to start coming back to stillness. No rush, don't force it, just let it come. Becoming aware of how those muscles feel inside your arms and inside your legs, how your heart muscle is feeling, increased beat, and the pulse of your blood. Just becoming as aware of those things as you can, noticing them, realizing and appreciating that our body just does the things. Like our heart just keeps going. We don't have to tell it to do it. Like we don't have to tell it to beat the blood, pulse blood through our bodies. We don't have to tell it to send blood to different places. It just does it automatically. And the same thing with our lungs. It just breathes our body on its own. Those lungs just do the job. So there's some things we do not have to be in charge of, which is mainly our existence through our bodies, functions. Our only job is just to support that. We don't have to flip a switch to turn it on or turn it off or recharge. We obviously recharge with food and rest. Okay, so I feel fully here. Do you feel fully here? I feel really present and excited to be here and grounded and are ready to roll. That was our pleasure first practice. Just become aware of what you're more aware of now than you were before. What maybe new ideas might have come to you, new realizations, maybe a new relationship with your body, like, oh, I didn't realize it wanted that, or that it feels like that when I do this other thing. So connecting the body and the mind and becoming aware of what our body is telling us is really helpful, because it often is responding to things way ahead of our minds. And the better we know our bodies and the signs that it sends us, which are not always that obvious. Sometimes they're really obvious, but other times they're not. The better we get at reading those subtle signs, those subtle messages, the better we are at taking care of our own needs ourselves sooner, right? And not overextending, just pushing really hard, which admittedly is what I was doing before I got here, and why I needed to go meditate before coming on to Thriving Live. So thank you for going through that process with me. Let's see. I was thinking about doing something on the topic of like getting it right. Let's see, what was I thinking? Messing up versus getting it right, right? And I'm thinking about that a lot right now because I'm preparing all these presentations and helping some of my team members prepare presentations. And I desire to know all the answers and to be correct about whatever it is I say or do in the world. And then especially in something like a presentation, I want it to be right. You can see my hair my thing fell out. But so I realized that I have a lot of attachment to this idea of getting it right, making sure it's perfect. And then I also want to do everything myself. And well, I don't actually want to do everything myself. But sometimes I'm in the position that I need to do everything myself. And then I know that I don't have all the skills to do all the things. So just to give you an example, for example, yesterday I was trying to connect one of my website email addresses with I don't know, MailChimp or something like that. And it's super simple for other people, tech people, not so simple for me. But I make all my websites and I love to use websites creatively. So if I run into a problem on my website that I can't fix, something that's more like a technical issue rather than a creative issue, I get very frustrated. And I am just now learning that it's okay. I don't have to do it. I can either wait and have it done by someone who knows what they're doing, or I can try to work around it or let go of it. I don't know. There's so many options, but I don't have to do it. So let's see, the process of this idea of messing up versus, I'm just writing down, versus getting it right. And if you've hung out on my show before or worked with me, with on coaching, getting help on things, you may have experienced the universal process that I use. Sometimes a polarity. We work with polarities, right? So the opposite of getting it right is messing up. In this case, that's what we're talking about. So the idea here for the polarity integration, is that I have a lot of attachment clearly to getting it right. Like that means a lot to me. I have also, there's some charge around messing up because that feels pretty crappy and I don't want to experience that. So there's charge in both of those places. And there's a way we can work with that through this universal polarity integration process, which I can do momentarily. And I'm also going to take a moment to consider as well doing, taking it to another level, which would be, I'm feeling really anxious, right? I can think about it at this level. I'm feeling really anxious about all the things I have on my plate to do. And I desire to feel completely at ease and confident about it all going perfectly well, right? So that's another one we could do. We could do like anxious versus ease, right? Or confident. So there are a few different ways we can work with that. So generally, if I were working with you and coaching you, I would say, let's find the words that feel right for you. Since you're not with me live, I'm going to demonstrate it myself, working through it a bit with myself. Okay, so I'll go with the messing up versus getting it right. Because I also just thinking about sort of the things that were coming up this week around the presentations and the website and all the things. It's like, I want to get it right. I don't want to mess it up. I want to get it right. I want it to function. So that feels the most alive for me today, right now. So I'll use that as the demonstration. So what I will do, I'll just demonstrate the process through for you, and you can follow along. You can either use these two polarities, messing up and getting it right, or choose another pair of polarities. I'll say them in your mind. And what I'll do is I'll feel fully into one and exaggerate it, and then say something about it. And then I let it go for a moment. And then I feel into the opposite one, and I do the same process. I go back and forth, and then I think of the two of them together, feel the two of them together, and we see if they start merging together. It's a pretty cool process, and usually takes a few rounds. And I'll demo it fairly quickly. Although typically, if I were coaching, we would take some time with it and get through it. Okay, so I'm going to feel into messing up. I'm going to feel into messing up fully and completely. And I even exaggerate it and say something about it. I feel clenching in my gut. Okay, let that go. Our responses are meant to be the first things that come to us, and it can be a body sensation, an emotion, a phrase, an image, right? So a thought, an image, body sensation, or emotion, okay? So now I'm feeling into getting it right. Getting it right, feeling into it, really allowing it to be there, exaggerating it. I feel I feel like a tenseness, like I really am trying really hard. Getting it right. Okay. So let that go. And you'll see that nothing's black and white, nothing's cut and dry. Like all the things on this side are going to be super positive, and all the things on that side are going to be super negative. It doesn't work that way. Often they start crossing over, which is also good, right? Because it helps us, it's interesting because it helps us metabolize all of it better, easier, more completely. Okay, so going back to messing up, feeling messing up. Feeling like, I messed up. Okay, let it go. Now feeling into getting it right. Exaggerating it. Yes. Okay, got it. Letting it go. Feeling into messing up again. Feeling it really strongly as possible, and exaggerating it. Let me see if I can get one. I feel a lot of confusion in my head, like a lot of just swirling in my head. Let it go. Now we're going to drop back into getting it right. Exaggerating it. Amplifying it. It's like a big smile of just like completeness. Okay, I'll let that go. I'll do one more on each side. Go into messing up. Feeling messing up completely, exaggerating it even. It's like a tenseness in my chest, as well as like this ticking of the clock. like all this time getting wasted because I messed it up, right? Okay, and letting that go, I go back to getting it right. Exaggerating it. I feel like a tenseness in my throat around like a collar up here. Letting that go. Okay, so now I am to, and if you're doing this, feel both at the same time, messing up and getting it right. So feel messing up and getting it right at the same time. Messing up and getting it right. Big deep breath in. Notice what happens between them on the exhale. Sometimes we notice what's happening between them either through imagery that's just occurring in our brains, our mind's eye. Sometimes we actually feel sensation in our bodies, like two sides. Some people have felt like words and stories and stuff like that. I tend to feel them in images. So messing up and getting it right. Right now, feel like they're touching, they're and side to side, right? There's a line between them. Almost like two buildings that are, but the sides are butted up right up against each other. Okay, so let that go. Now I return to the process and I go into feeling into messing up, feeling messing up fully and completely. And saying something about it. Damn, just like, this kind of like, total frustration and like, yeah, almost like a humiliation. Yeah. Okay, let that go. Now go to the other one, getting it right. Feel into getting it right. Feeling it fully and completely and exaggerating it even. Yeah, so I see myself doing like this happy dance. It's such satisfaction, such a good feeling. Okay, cool. Let that go. All right, so I feel back into messing up. Feeling it fully, feeling it completely, even exaggerating it. That one kind of feels more like it's okay, we can just let it go, it happens. So that's kind of a nice relief. Let that go. Now I'll feel back into getting it right. Feeling getting it right fully and completely and making it as strong and as real as I can. I feel like I get to put like a really satisfying check mark on the thing. Interesting. Okay, so release that. Go back into messing up and feeling fully into messing it up. Messing it up is just like pulsing, like going on. So I'm going to let that go. We just allow these things to come through our bodies, right? Just allow it to be experienced so that we can also release it. That's what's happening here. It's being expressed through the body. Okay, so I'm feeling into getting it right again. Feeling it fully and completely. exaggerating it. Okay, so that round I'm feeling like, yeah, I got it right, but that kind of, but I still have 800 more things I need to get right for this to be done, that kind of thing, definitely pertaining to website stuff. So letting that go. And then one more time in both polarities, so messing up. All right, this one is about like, okay, just take a walk, just let it go and take a walk, take a break, which I really love that. Okay, letting that go, feeling into getting it right. Exaggerating it. Feeling like this little sharp pain coming in through here, through my eyebrow. Letting it go. So now the job is to feel them both at the same time and on the inhale, and then noticing on the exhale how they're relating to each other. Okay, so feeling, messing it up, and getting it right at the same time. Okay, so I'm seeing, for me, this round, it feels fully merged. I'm seeing like this disc, like a UFO shaped disc, you could say. And both energies are in there equally moving around and exchanging energy with each other and just being there together. So I will now take that sense of merging. We would go, if as a client you hadn't fully merged and they didn't come together and occupy space in some way that represented that they're merged, I would bring you through another couple of rounds until it felt completely merged. And often with beginners, they're wanting to hold on to one, like the good one, and not let go of that and let it still be strong, because they often think that that's the point, and it's not. It's actually to like reduce the charge on both of them so that they both can coexist and neither one of them get to drive the bus, right? Drive the bus of my actions and of my emotions and of my energy and all those things. So I'm going to take that image that I have of them merged together and sort of float into or imagine myself falling into that space or resting in the space of that merging and relaxing into that. Feeling the merge. Now allowing that, feeling that sense of unified merging energy to cascade out in all directions, cascade down and through and over and out from me. Surrounding me. And cascading out in all directions. Feeling this as the new reality, that is the truth of the polarities coming together. And now imagine a ball of light above your head. I'm imagining a ball of light above my head, and let it be, generally it's white or yellow, whichever color you prefer, that represents clarity and clean, energizing light. Just draw it down through into your head, past your chakras, your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra. See the light filling all the cells, all the space, all the veins, all the blood, all the bones in your body, just illuminating everything. Coming down through your solar plexus, through your heart chakra, your solar plexus, your sacral center, your hips, your pelvic floor, your legs, your arms, all of it, all the way through to the floor. Breathing in that golden light or the clear light through all your cells, allowing it to be there, feeling it fully. When you feel ready, you can come back, open your eyes. Notice how you're feeling now. Notice what you're more aware of now than you were before. For me, I'm aware of this new sensation that there really is no difference between messing up and getting it right, that it's actually a pretty arbitrary distinction or judgment that I put on the things that I'm doing or the things that I will be doing. I'm also aware of the ease of feeling. What do I want to say? I'm feeling more, a whole lot more calmer, more grounded, more relaxed in all of it. And just being really, feeling really chill, like it's all okay. It can be easier. It can be more fun. It can be more pleasant. I don't have to hang on to those judgments around whether I'm doing it right or messing up. Certainly not serving me. And yeah, so what is one action we can take to really ground this is, for me, I think I will journal about it, like take 5 minutes to journal about it. If we were coaching, if I was coaching you, I would probably ask you to like text me a picture of your journal, or that you did it. Just text me that you did it, that kind of thing. And then I would celebrate you for getting that thing done and really grounding your new awarenesses. So that's the process for working with polarities, especially the ones that have like a lot of charge, emotional charge. And I'm just kind of laughing at myself because I know that all the frustration and anxiety I was feeling today was probably a whole buildup based on like the last 4 or 5 days of not doing any of these practices where I meditate or I journal or I do one of these processes with the polarities. So I'm just kind of laughing at myself for, forgetting the obvious. And, that's what we do. Sometimes we're human, right? So, and my coach would always be reminding me. So I'm going to note that so that we can work with that in the future. Okay, my loves, I hope this was helpful for you and I hope you enjoyed it. And please add anything in the comments that you wish to share. You can always reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram, Gabrielle Senza Studio, or Walk Unafraid. You can join me there and yeah, be in touch and go easy on yourself. You are loved. All right, I'm going to sign off now and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. All right, take care. Bye.